I dropped out of college and I still ended up a successful graphic designer of 19 years. But it came with a bunch of challenges and a bunch of bull. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bro, back in the video. Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being a self-taught graphic designer. So stay tuned to check it out. Peace. Alright, so a little bit about me. I'm a self-taught graphic designer. I've been in the game for 19 years, bro. I started in college. I ended up having to drop out because my mom got sick. So that's when my real journey started with this profession. For me, I started my graphic design career in a basement on a laptop missing 3 buttons, bro. And I was using dial-up internet. You know, the yeah, that was me. I used to have to bootleg the AOL vouchers. I was broke, fam. It was some good times. When I was in school though, those classes never really taught me much about graphic design. I actually had to figure out a lot of it out on my own, and through trials and tribulations and making a lot of mistakes and just being frustrated and just pressing buttons and seeking inspiration from graphic designers online and trying to mimic what they do. So here are some pros and some cons that I've encountered on this journey. Let's talk about it. So the main pro for me, no student loan debt. This is the most important thing because no college means no crippling student loan debt. You get to keep your money instead of spending $40,000 to $50,000 just to learn things that you could possibly learn online on YouTube for free, on free online courses or other platforms. Now, I'm not saying college is useless because it has its benefits. It taught me a lot. It helped me make a lot of great connections with a lot of great people. And a lot of those people put me in positions to where I can get jobs and I can get certain clients and stuff like that. So I would never shun college and the networking that I made and the people that I met there. You know, college gave me certain people skills that I wouldn't have had if I didn't go. As far as like the technical skills, if you're disciplined and willing to put in the work, you can teach yourself everything you need to know about design without going broke. It just is what it is. Real quick, y'all, hit up DurrellRashad.com. I got everything you need. I got dope merch, mentorship, portfolio reviews, digital products, plus more. So tap in now, links in the description. Peace. Number 2, learn at your own pace. So when you're self-taught, you control your learning journey. You ain't gotta wait for some professor to teach you Adobe Illustrator in week 5 or week 7 or whatever. You can learn it in one weekend if you really lock in. And if you need to take a break, you can. If you wanna speed through the grind, and you can do all that too. That's all on you, and this is how I learn best. I hated going to school and feeling rushed or feeling like I couldn't ask a question or being shy about asking a question because I'm introverted. And in college, I couldn't replay something. I couldn't rewind back, take notes, and then come back. You know, everything is live. So, you know, versus being at home and learning on my own, I can go and replay it. I can keep playing the lesson over and over until I memorize it, and I can obsess over it, and I can think about it until it clicks for me. I couldn't do that in school. Number 3, no creative restrictions. Art school and traditional training sometimes forces designers into being by the book or thinking by the book, but when you teach yourself and you develop your own style and your own workflow and your own approach, you can experiment. You can break the rules. You can do what you want to do. You can create your own style that makes you happy and that makes you stand out. Like, I loved having structure in college, and it taught me to be more disciplined with my life and, you know, all that. But I hated creating what they wanted me to create. I would get so frustrated by the projects that they asked us to do because I didn't resonate with any of the things that they wanted me to design. Like, they didn't focus on all cultures or anything like that. They were just strict on what they thought was design versus where actual design was headed. And I hated that. In all honesty, that could be from professor to professor and from school to school, that experience. So I'm not really sure, but all the professors I had, I hated it. Like, I was like, I hate this shit. Number 4, real world experience hits different. A degree might help you get your foot in the door. It might even help you get an internship, but real world experience is what's gonna get you paid. If you start freelancing early and working on projects and building your portfolio now, you'll develop the skills that a classroom can't teach you. A few of those skills would be negotiation, client management, problem solving, and that way you can start making real money from your craft. You know, it took me 8 years to get paid in graphic design, 8, and I never even knew it was a possibility. When I was in and out of school and stuff like that, like, I was just doing that shit for free in my basement, designing things that I loved. But looking back, I wish I had gotten paid sooner. I wish I wouldn't have settled for like BS jobs along my journey. You feel me? Number 5, the internet is your university. So in 2006, when I was scouring the internet for design inspiration and advice, I never knew that courses were available. And if they were outside my budget. YouTube back then only had about 9 videos, and the majority of them was just goofy. Like, it's nothing like it is today. In 2025, you have unlimited resources on your phone. I didn't have those, like, our cell phones back then did not have that. But now you got unlimited resources, and there's people making millions of dollars from their cell phone. I could never ever even dream that was possible back then. If you focus and you do all the work, you can become a beast in design because it's all right there. You just got to be willing to seek it out and apply it to your skill set. The cons of being a self-taught graphic designer. Number one, no structured learning path. So one downside to being self-taught, ain't no syllabus, my dog. You got to figure out what to learn and in what order. And that in itself can be overwhelming, especially when you're a rookie and you don't know what you're doing. And even worse when you don't know what you don't know. And this is why having a roadmap is crucial. This is why knowing what you want to be in the beginning is crucial. Find a good course or a mentor like your boy to help you structure your learning so you're not just watching random tutorials and just piecing this shit together like I was. You got to have direction because this will help you avoid mistakes along the way, and it'll also help you avoid wasting time. Number two, no built-in network. In design school, you automatically kind of get plugged into a network of peers and professors and industries, right? And they can help you with your connections, and these connections can put you in position to be successful and to get you jobs and to get you clients and, you know, get those big ass contracts that you want. But when you're self-taught, you on your own, fam. And you got to figure it out. So that means you have to build your own network and engage with other designers online, go to events and connect with potential clients, or otherwise you'll struggle to find opportunities. Number three, it takes more discipline. So let's be real. A lot of people fail at being self-taught because they lack discipline and the audacity to be successful. There's no professor checking in on you, making sure you get your shit done, or making sure you're making progress, you're staying in line with the class. There's no deadlines to meet unless you self-impose them. If you're not motivated, you won't learn. This path ain't for the lazy motherfuckers. Like, you gotta be consistent, you gotta be disciplined, and you gotta stay hungry just to keep leveling up, to stay in line with the rest of the industry. Plus, you gotta validate yourself when no one else will. And that's hard to do because it's easier to believe something negative than it is to believe something positive, right? You know, it's harder to build something when you're working from a negative mindset. And like when I was younger, I had that type of mindset where I was like, I would push myself off fear. Man, you can't do this. Oh man, if I bet so-and-so is working harder than you right now. I bet they going 10 times harder than you right now. I bet you ain't gonna make it as far as they did. You feel me? Like I would just constantly mentally attack myself, and it made me struggle to even build shit that way. Number four, it's harder to get corporate jobs sometimes. If you ever decide to apply for a full-time design job, some companies still prefer a degree. You know, it's less common these days, but it still happens, to be honest. However, if your portfolio is fire and you can prove your skills, a lot of the time companies will make an exception. Just make sure your work speaks for itself and make sure it speaks louder than your resume, because at the end of the day, fuck the experience. I want to see what you can do. And also understand water seeks its own level. So if you got the skill and the work ethic, you'll be successful. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. The universe will reward you if it sees you're putting in the work, the dedication, and the time to become what you say you want to become. And if you don't, then just work on your work ethic. That means showing up for yourself every single day and doing what you said you were gonna do when you wanted to get where you wanted to go. Obviously, some days you'll have more motivation, you'll have more energy, and you'll get more done than other days. But honestly, if you keep showing up for yourself, you're gonna make it happen regardless. Number five, imposter syndrome is real. Obviously, since you don't have a degree to validate your skills, you might deal with imposter syndrome. You might feel like you're not qualified or you're not as good as the other designers that you're going up against. But listen, it doesn't matter if you learn from YouTube or Yale. Clients and companies alike are gonna hire you. They just want good design work. So at the end of the day, being self-taught is 100% possible. I dropped out of college and I still ended up a successful graphic designer of 19 years. But it came with a bunch of challenges and a bunch of bullshit. I've been passed over from jobs. I've been fired on the spot from jobs. I've cried in the parking lot of jobs. And I felt like I wasn't good enough along this journey. But also, I've seen my designs in Walmart. I've seen my design in Best Buy. I've seen my designs on car wraps driving past me. I've seen my shit on billboards. I've designed mixtape covers for famous rappers. You know, I've had my clothing brand be seen in front of millions of people. I even had NBA players wearing my merch. The good and the bad, they equal out. Honestly, I've had more good times than I've had bad times. The key is to stay consistent and build a strong portfolio and never stop learning, and don't quit on yourself. If you love this, if you want to do this, you got to believe that it's a possibility. You got to look yourself every day in the mirror and know that it's going to work out in your favor, because you're doing everything with the purest of intentions. If you do that, you can make just as much, if not more, than designers who went the traditional route. That's a fact. Just got to believe. I love you guys. I'm going to holler at y'all soon. Peace.